Did you really get into crypto last year, but now it's time to file taxes and you're worried and you don't know what to do next? Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Doug Burson here, and today we're going to show you how to get ready to do your taxes this year if you purchase cryptos. And there's a lot of different ways to go about this, but today we're going to show you how to look at Robinhood, the easy one. I'm not saying it's the best because it has a lot of limitations, but then also how to use a product called Koinly so that you can track your basis. If you don't know what I'm talking about yet, you may want to go watch the video I did a few weeks ago on taxation of cryptos, and then come back and you'll understand more about what we're talking about. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are. We're logged into Robinhood. And really this one's easy, but like most of you, you probably have investments other places such as Coinbase like I do, because there's only so much you can do within Robinhood. But within Robinhood, it really is going to be as simple as going over and clicking Account. And then once it's tax time, there's this statement area. Once you go into statements, there's going to be a section for tax. It's really going to be that simple. They're going to have a tax document there, and it's going to track your basis. So that really is easy. We hit that pretty fast. But it's important to understand, like I said, if you didn't watch the video from the other day, you want to do that, because Robinhood is going to give you basis based on FIFO, first in, first out. And that may be fine, but it may not be. And so that's where a product like Koinly comes in. The problem though with Robinhood is it's hard to get the data out. Robinhood doesn't really make a CSV available. At least I haven't seen that happen very well. You could take your PDF and convert it. That's a possibility. There are also some people who have built little programs that you can run, as well as possibly a plugin for Chrome. You have to play with some of those to see. But unless you're real heavy into it, the standard statement for Robinhood is probably going to serve you just fine. If you're more advanced, well, you're probably not buying on Robinhood anyway. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Koinly. First of all, I'm not getting paid by Koinly, and I'm not saying it's the best option. There are a lot of options out there. Coin Tracker, we've mentioned them. Koinly, there's quite a few of them. But we got to pick one, and I decided to go with this one because it covers so many different exchanges. I thought we would do this, and we may decide to cover another one in a different video. So once again, not a direct statement that this one is the best. Just wanted to show you guys how to do it so you have the tools. So when it's time to do your taxes, we're in good shape. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we are. I already have a Coinbase account. So I'm going to use the continue with Coinbase option. If you don't have to do that. You could also use set up a new name, email, and password, or continue with Google. But we're going to go down the Coinbase option. Okay. So you have to authorize Koinly. Now in my case, I'm already logged in to Koinly. Or not to Koinly, I'm already logged in to Coinbase. And as such, it's already there. So then I can go ahead and authorize it. We review our settings. I am in fact in the United States, so continue. And there you go, we are in. And this is one of the reasons why I chose to use Koinly for this video. Here are all the different things that it can link up with: Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, Binance, Crypto.com. Just a lot of availability there for you guys to use, and that's why I chose it. And it's not just one page, it goes on and on and on. So you've got a lot of coverage here, and so that's what we're going to use for purposes of this. Okay, so at this point, I've chosen to connect my Coinbase with it, and I am going to go ahead and let it auto sync. Coinbase is going to ask if we want to authorize it, and Coinbase and Koinly work well together, and that's another reason why I chose to go down this path. All right, here we go. It's syncing up for us. Now the important thing here is don't get in a hurry. There's a lot of data here. It's going to take it a little while to sync up. If you notice down in the bottom, down here in the bottom corner, it's going to give you an ETA. So let's go ahead and let that do its thing. And once that's done, we'll come back and move forward. Okay, well that's going ahead and doing its sync. Let's talk a little bit about pricing. The price is not free. I mean, there are free ones, but they're not really going to do what you want. We need to be honest. You're doing this because it's going to save you time. If you try to go to your tax preparer, me, and bring me this garbage and expect me to spend hours and hours and hours putting it together, even the $279 Pro plan is going to seem extremely cheap, okay? So don't cheap out on this. Go ahead and do what you need to. 100 transactions, do the newbie. If you've got more, 1,000, that'll handle a lot of you at 99. And then if you're getting into 3,000 transactions, you probably already know what we're talking about here. But if not, if you're new to this, that's great. We want to help you too. Go ahead and choose that option. But I promise you, this cost, this price, is not something to think is expensive. As a tax preparer, like I said, even if you could get statements out on this, there is no way that I can go through that and match it all up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, like I said, go back and watch that other video to talk about FIFO, LIFO, HIFO, all the different ways of accounting for this, and the fact that you have to track this coin and you're selling bits of coins and you're trading a coin for another coin, which is taxable. There's so much there to try to do this manually. I ain't gonna do it. So don't cheap out on this. Don't think this costs too much. I promise you it does not. But there you have it. So you're going to need to choose the option you're going to go with. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what we have. We've logged back into Koinly, and we need to go through a couple things. One, you could add additional accounts and wallets. In this case, we're not going to go through that, but it does give you the option. For instance, if you have multiple wallets, you can hit right here on start and then go choose another wallet to add. We've already got our wallet in here, so we'll just take a look at it. Well, to be honest, so far it's pretty cool. I don't have a lot in Coinbase, but for purposes of this demo, I want to show it. It shows a wheel here that has how the assets I have in here are allocated, so you can see kind of a percentage of what I have where. You can also see how things have performed over the last 24 hours, so that's pretty nice. I will say I'm liking that so far. Let's take a look at where we are. I have not sold anything this year because with what I have, it seems to make more sense for me to hold. Let's take a look at last year's. See, what's really cool about this is I can look at reports based on different time periods, so you can pull up last year and see how you did there. Look at your gains, your losses, so you can see we're going up here. That's a good thing. Up to the end of the year, we still had some pretty good increases. That's nice to see. Once again, on your individual assets, you can see how you've been doing on the last 24 hours. Sort them. Sort by the balance of what you have in each one. Your cost and your market value, so those sort really nice. But the main reason we're here, as we all know, is we want to see our tax report. So let's go ahead and head on over there. There I have it, right at the touch of a button. We've got a summary report, but also you can look at some of your settings. So we can go into the settings and say, Okay, I live in the US, that's good, but I don't want to do FIFO. Let's look at HIFO. What does that do? And reset data. Okay, so I went in and switched it over to HIFO. To be honest, so far very, very impressed with the simplicity of this. There's a lot of things we could get into, and we may do that on a future lesson. But for here, if you remember, we went over here and we just said, let's change this from HIFO. You do want your calendar year to stay calendar because as a general rule in the US at least, we file on a calendar year. Time zone, not all that important, but I'm Central, so in Central usually you can go with Chicago. That'll get you where you want to go. Scrap that, who gives a crap. Time zone's not all that important. I guess it could be if you were doing some trades that would roll over if you were doing them right around midnight. Other than that, it really shouldn't matter. So let's go ahead and go back to that tax report. All right, so the moment we were all here for is our tax report. So the main thing is, for most of you, is you're probably going to want to do the 8949 and then either download report or do the complete tax report and download that report. Just be prepared. I was a little surprised. It does take it a minute to download. So go ahead and push the download report and then go do something else for a few minutes and come back. But I will say, I actually am impressed at how easy this works. Very happy with it. Can't really complain, so I think it's a good product from what I can see so far. Now, I'm not the biggest crypto guy out there, so my transactions probably aren't going to challenge it, but I do think it was pretty slick. But then there was also something that I thought was really, really cool, and that we'll look at next. So I know a lot of you are like, Doug, I don't want to do this. That's what I have you for. And that's great. So if you'll go through the process of setting up Koinly and linking up your wallets, one of the things that I really like about this platform is if you'll go to settings and team. Inside a team, you have the option to share access with your accountant. And to do that, it's as simple as going to settings, team, and invite. Then you decide who you're inviting, send the email address, and it's gonna send an invite for me to get in there and pull the reports I need. It doesn't get any easier than that, but you do have to do the first part where you go in, you set up Koinly, you link it up, and you pull it in, because I'm going to be able to pull reports, but I'm not going to be able to do transactional type stuff. This is just reports access. So I want you to really think about this. If you have very many transactions, I know there's other options out there. This one's pretty slick. If you have other suggestions, drop it down below. Maybe we can take a look at those too. And as we go through the season, if I see something that looks better, or if we start getting some tips and tricks on how to make this work even more effectively for you, I'll try to share that too. But I gotta say, from a first start here, pretty excited about it. I think it's gonna make crypto a lot easier for us, and look forward to a great tax season. So we'll see you guys soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day.